people get confused all the time.
I
Which, of course, is a horrible insult to Jack.
Mr. Stine, you are far more handsome than Jack Black. So it is my honor to have the ability to ask the first questions. Most of the questions that I asked tonight were actually submitted by this audience. And I must admit, much to my frustration, Mr. Stine actually answered a lot of them in advance. But there are some that we have not gotten to yet. So here's my first one, and this is inspired by one of your letters. It made me reject one of my questions and want to ask you this.
Yeah.
And this is in homage to that little boy who wrote to you. So who is your second favorite author?
My second favorite author? I don't know, I have a lot of favorite authors. I read mostly mysteries and thrillers. Ray Bradbury is my favorite. And I think Agatha Christie, maybe? I've read all of her books, and I've stolen just about every plot. Just about every one of her plots.
So given that it was just Halloween, and one of the things that some of us did at ASU was to participate in an article about what our favorite monsters are. Do you have a favorite monster?
I have a favorite horror movie. My favorite monster is Frankenstein from the original film, from the old film. That's an amazing film. But I will tell you about the horror film that I think is incredible. It's called Island of Lost Souls. And it's done, you know it? It's from 1933, Charles Lawton. It's Dr. Moreau. And he's on this island and he's trying to turn animals into human. And he's really misfiring. And there are all these hideous creatures on the island of Lost Souls. And when this Bela Lugosi is in it, it's an amazing horror film. When it came out in 1933, it was so upsetting to people, they threw up in their seats. It's true. So that's why I'm recommending it tonight.
We're recommending it, but if it ever is revived, go to the first showing.
Oh, good advice. Go ahead.
So this is actually the first test. If you can't open the water, you're going to have to leave.
What?
Oh, you did it.
What? No, I always spill it all over me.
All right, and here is the final question before we get to ones from the audience. I was recently with some friends, some academic friends in Delaware, and one night we were sitting around a campfire and telling ghost stories as one does. And I said that I would have the opportunity and privilege to ask you some questions this week. And I said, if there's anyone here who would like to pass along a question, what would it be? And what this group of friends decided is that given that we were around a campfire and felt obligated to tell ghost stories, and every single ghost story was 100% true and based in something that had happened in real life, we wondered, outside of that lie of the story you told about Bill and the jack-o'-lantern, have you ever had a supernatural experience or something that seemed like an actual supernatural experience?
No, I've never seen a ghost. I'm always looking. I've never seen. I could tell a story, but I don't know. It's a story I never tell. Because I did have...
Please tell.
But no one's listening, right? It's just the two of us.
It's just the two of us, yes.
Yeah. I once...
Everyone make sure you tweet this.
I've never had that. Also, I have to say, you know, I've written maybe 20